Hello everyone. As part of learning Big Data Hadoop framework, today in this session we will be talking about Scoop, which is an ingestion tool. Data can be fed from external database systems into Hadoop framework or HDFS using Scoop. So we call Scoop as one of the data ingestion tools. So let us quickly look at the introduction where we are actually finding the need of Scoop. Great strength of Hadoop platform. It can work with huge amounts of data, various types of data. So Hadoop platform can work with data in different forms. HDFS can reliably store logs whenever we are working with the data and other data from a variety of sources. So HDFS, we know it is the storage component of Hadoop framework, and MapReduce is the processing component of that huge amounts of data. So MapReduce also can process diverse amounts of the data, diverse formats of the data. So when you are trying to process huge amounts of data, they are trying to process using MapReduce, and it is trying to extract some useful information from which the organization or the people, they can try to make some useful decisions. But to interact with data in storage repositories outside HDFS, MapReduce programs need external API. Say for example, I want to take data from SQL. So MapReduce is Java based. So in order to read data from that, it needs external APIs, right? So suppose I don't want to take the complexity of working with external APIs. One more option which is provided is Apache Scoop is an open source tool which allows users to extract data from a structured data store into Hadoop environment for further processing. So who is doing the job of relieving the programmer or the data scientist to work with external APIs? I don't want to work with external APIs, then what is the option? Scoop is the option which will try to take data from an external source which is of structured format and will try to put it into HDFS, which can even process unstructured and semi-structured data, right? And once map processing or MapReduce finishes its processing, the results can be again published back into the structured format so that organization can use it. So what exactly is Scoop doing? Scoop is trying to take information or data from the structured sources, give it to HDFS, and once HDFS finishes the processing, those results can be again put back into the format which the client organization is trying to use, right? We call the process of taking data from a structured source into HDFS is called as importing the data, and once processing is completed with MapReduce, posting back the results into the structured format is called as exporting. So Scoop is doing both the jobs of importing and exporting, and as I told, when it is trying to post the data or extract the data, it is called as an ingestion tool. Now, how can I install Scoop into my system? It can be taken from multiple platforms or multiple sites. So one such thing is Apache Software Foundation, that is the home page wherein you can try to download the Scoop. Whenever we are trying to download the Scoop, we try to get the data, configuration files, everything into home, whatever is the name of the user or the system, then scoop-x.y.z. This is the folder which we call as the scoop_home. This is the default folder wherein Scoop will be placed. Apart from this, bin is also there in which we have the executable script Scoop. After installing Scoop, how do I work with it? The executable script is Scoop and the prompt here will be %symbol. So near %symbol we can type in all our commands. We call it as Scoop commands. So first of all, if I just give Scoop, there is nothing much. There is no specific output for that. So the only thing you will see is try Scoop help for usage. That is the only message you see. So at the command prompt, if you just type scoop and press enter, you will get the message try scoop help for usage. Then scoop is organized as a set of tools or commands, and if you don't select a tool, scoop does not understand what it has to do. And one such tool is help. If I just say scoop help, just see this command. If I specify scoop help, what it will do is it will try to give you scoop, a command should be specified, and arguments for executing that command should be specified. What are the commands? It will also give you the list of commands that are available with scoop. Code gen, we will see what exactly code gen is doing. Create hive table, eval is for evaluating, export, help, import, import all tables. These are various set of commands which are available with scoop. So say for example, I want to know what would be the syntax of import command. How do I give? Scoop, help, import. Then it will try to show you the command syntax for import statement, which I have put in the later slide. Now, if you see this one, see scoop space help space whatever command you want for information on a specific command. If you just say scoop help, it will show you the list of all the commands, and if you want to know more about one particular command, one specific command, you give scoop help command. Say for example, I want to know all the options that are available with scoop help. So scoop, please give me help on which command are we looking at? Import command. In such case, it will try to show you the syntax. Sorry. What should be the syntax? Scoop, import, generic arguments are to be specified, tool arguments are to be specified. So this is the syntax of the import statement given by help command. Scoop, import, generic arguments and tool arguments. Most of the time we will be giving these commands. What are the commands we are giving? All the commands, whatever arguments we are specifying here, they should be given with a double hyphen. So all the arguments come with double hyphen. Just go through this. Hyphen hyphen connect, hyphen hyphen driver. So I will show you this with a syntax. Hyphen hyphen password. And if you give single hyphen p, try to take password from the user. Or if you want to specify what is the password, you can specify with double hyphen what is the username, and verbose, it keeps on printing whenever it is trying to execute. So I will show you this with an example. Before actually working with scoop import command, we should know something called as scoop connectors. What exactly are these connectors? Say for example, I want to work with scoop and I want to take data from SQL. We know most of the Hadoop framework is Java based, and I want to read data from Oracle, right, or SQL. So from a Java based program, you are trying to take data from SQL or Oracle. I definitely need JDBC drivers. So the drivers which will help me to take data from SQL based system into scoop, we call it as the connector for SQL. Similarly, there will be connectors for MySQL separately, PostgreSQL separately, Oracle separately, SQL Server separately, likewise. So whatever is the underlying database, scoop will have the respective connector so that it can try to extract data from various types of database systems. Suppose none of the databases we are using something else than these things. There is no specific connector available. In such cases, there is a generic JDBC connector. If none of the databases is matching with the one which I am using, we can definitely use the generic JDBC connector to match any of the database systems. And scoop provides optimized MySQL, Postgre, all these connectors which are database specific APIs, but if those are not available, as I mentioned here, generic JDBC connector can be used. And what this connector is helping us? It is helping Scoop to work with imports and exports efficiently. Then let us look at connectors can be downloaded separately, otherwise it works with generic JDBC connector. Just go through this. Whenever you want to work with import, here I am showing the import command with an example. If you want to work with import, first you install Scoop, we know that, then we need to import data into Hadoop. For doing that, first I need to log into my MySQL. Consider here I am working with MySQL. Log into the database and then create a database. How do we do that? At the percentage symbol itself you can give MySQL -u root -p, stands for you are trying to log into MySQL. What is the username? Root. What is the password? As I told, whenever you are working with single -p, you are trying to take data, you are trying to take password from the user. So immediately it will ask you enter password. So you enter whatever password is set for root login in this example. Suppose you are not working with root, you have your own login. You can specify that login, user ID and password. Once you give successful password, it will start the MySQL environment. Under MySQL environment, try to give this command, create database Hadoop guide. This is just an example database I am creating, Hadoop guide. You can create any database with which you want to work. So create the database, and also what else we are trying to do? Grant all privileges on Hadoop guide.star to so and so user. So you can give the privileges also if you are working in an environment wherein admin controls are properly guided up. On the other hand, you are working on your standalone machine, maybe you yourself are the administrator control, so you need not work with grant. But whatever, you log into MySQL, create the database, and after creating the database, what are we trying to do? You can simply specify use MySQL, use whatever is the database name. Once you are getting into the database, for example, create a table. What is the table consisting of? Here I have used something called as a table called widgets, which is having ID, which is the primary key, and this is not null. Anyways, the moment you define it as primary key, it is definitely not null, and it is an auto increment sequence number. And what is the data type? Integer. Widget name varchar of 64, widget name cannot be left empty, it is not null. Then what is its price? When it was designed, the designed date. What is its version? Design comment varchar of 100. I just created a table with these attributes. Then I tried to insert 3 rows into the table. Just go through this syntax once. So far I did not use any of the Scoop commands, the known MySQL commands only. Created a database, using that database, created a table, inserted 3 rows into the table. So far this is a known concept. After insert, I want to extract data from the MySQL into the widget table, where are we creating this widget table? We are trying to create it in the Scoop environment. So let me give the command Scoop import --connect. You are connecting to JDBC, which will work with MySQL. Where is the entire thing? On local host. What is the database name we created? Hadoop guide, and table name is widgets. I will talk about this -m1 just a little late, right? Then after Hadoop guide, you are seeing a reverse slash, that is for continuing the line in the next next line, right? So this command I am continuing in the next line to specify that you have the backslash or reverse slash. So what are we trying to do? Scoop, import, connect via JDBC to MySQL, under localhost what is the database name, whatever we have created. In that database, which table are we trying to connect to? Widgets. So from this table it will try to take the data and puts it into HDFS, right? And we just gave a command, automatically Scoop internally runs a MapReduce job and it will try to take the data from the widgets table and puts it in a file and stores it in HDFS. So what exactly happened? The data from a MySQL store has come into HDFS. From an external source which is a structured database, the data has come into HDFS via Scoop import. See, if you observe, we stopped writing huge programs of MapReduce. Just a 1 line or maximum 2 to 3 line command is trying to internally build a MapReduce program and try to get the data into HDFS. Now this Scoop import tool will run a MapReduce job which connects the MySQL database and reads the table. Now once this command is executed, it will try to create a file in HDFS under Scoop home directory with the name which is similar to the name of the table. So if I want to see the contents of that, Hadoop FS, generally whenever we are working we give HDFS DFS, Hadoop FS -cat. We know cat command is for seeing the contents of a file. Under widgets folder, the folder will be having name similar to the table or same as the table, under which you have a file called part-m-50. This is the file. If you observe part-m, there is only a mapper which is trying to do the job, there is no reducer. So straight away the output is coming from a map function. All the 3 records which we have inserted are brought into the single file, and if you see the separators are commas. So comma is the default separator when you are working with Scoop import. Thank you.